Coach, conference opener, always a big week. Talk about that and talk about USC.
Yeah, I mean, every week's a big week. I mean, this is a conference opener. I think our guys understand that. They're just excited that we got another football game. Great program down at USC. Got a lot of guys from California. So we enjoy our trip every time we get a chance to go on the road and represent the university.
In regards to the receivers, is every week kind of a blank slate at the start of the week in terms of who's going to get playing time? Because it seems like we're seeing a different group of guys out there every week.
Yes and no. I mean, we do what we did in fall camp. So a lot of those guys got reps during the fall in practice, and that carries over to the season. New guys emerge. Sometimes you're setting stuff up that you've already done on tape. So all of the above.
How important is it to have a real number one receiver, a guy you can really go to like a Hodgins a couple of years ago? Is that really important, or is the depth here, does that make up for not having a true number one type guy?
Yeah, I guess I look at it differently. I mean, every play is a job, and so every job's got a description. And so to me, it's kind of play by play. Your go-to guy relative to the play we call. And so there's some guys that can go out there and execute every play, and there's some guys that have certain plays. I don't get caught up in one guy getting 80 touches. If that works out, great. It did with Isaiah. But I think we got 5 or 6 go-to guys, depending on what play we're calling. So I don't look at it like that, like a one, a number one. I guess it just depends on the job.
Yeah. So Saturday, Champ Flemings' catch for the touchdown was one of the best catches I've seen this year. Talk about him, talk about the catch, but then also talk about what makes him a special wide receiver.
Yeah, it was a good catch. It was a conversion, go ball. We've been wanting to get better at that. That was something last offseason we looked at and said we needed to do more of. We got some speed at receiver. Champ's one of those guys that can run. And Champ's just awesome, man. He's a dog. He's a tough player. He's smart. He's been in the system now going on 3-4 years. Can play all 3 receiver spots. He just happens to be 5'5", 140, but the dude's a really good player. He'd be a good player if he was 6'2". So no, I love Champ Flemings. I'm excited to coach him, and he's awesome.
In regard to Harrison, at the end of last season, he had a couple of really good games when he was able to play. Where is he at now? Is he back to that level? I mean, he's out on the field some, but he hasn't really had those kind of breakout type games this year.
Well, it's just all relative to targets. Our offense is a progression-based offense. The ball finds you in the progression, and so Trayshawn's open. Sometimes we don't target him. Sometimes we do target him. I think he's the same player he was at the end of last year. It's just a matter of number of targets he's getting, and it's not a knock on him. I think he's a great player. I think he's one of many we got in the room. And so, it kind of goes back to the question you asked me before. I mean, it just depends on the play we're running and if the ball finds you or not. But we got a lot of those guys.
So you feel like his talent over the course of the season, it'll show up, and over the course of the season, you'll see some of those big.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he made a big play against Hawaii at the end of the game on the go ball. I mean, he's a really good player. We just, when he gets his number called, we'll expect him to make the play. Like all the guys we got a lot of guys in that offensive group, whether it be Luke Musgrave, Teagan, Trayvon, Trayshawn, Tyjon. I mean, there's just a lot of mouths to feed, and so.
Can you have too many?
No, you can't have too many good players. I think, no.
How do you like the way Chance Nolan's throwing the ball to those receivers?
Chance has been great. Kind of was steady, stayed the course, got an opportunity, and has made the most of it, and is doing a really good job. And so our guys have faith in him. I got faith in him. He's been awesome.
With Tyjon, what was the impact of having him back in the mix in that Idaho game, and what of his skills just kind of stand out to you?
Getting him back was great because he's another really good player. Really quick, tough, competitive, good blocker, runs really good routes. It's got good speed, got really good hands. So he's a really good inside slot receiver. Again, he's been here 3-4 years, so he knows our offense. And so he's playing a little more than he's been playing in the past, and he's up to the challenge and doing a good job.
Would you say this is maybe the deepest group of receivers you've ever coached? I mean, it's not every day you see a group of 8 or 9 guys that could go in and make a play on any given week.
Yeah, it is. It's a deep group. Everywhere I've ever been, I try to get guys involved, whether it was 15 plays a game or 5. because I just think every play, if you can help it, if your system allows you to do it, you want to get the best 11 on the field for every play relative to what you're doing. And receiver is a position where if you have the flexibility in your offense, you should be able to do that. And we have that. And so Coach Smith's been great. Coach Lingler's been great. We've been able to incorporate a lot of guys. And so definitely one of the deepest rooms I've had. And it's been fun. It's been fun as long as nobody has any egos. I mean, a lot of these guys could go leave somewhere and be a 80, 70 play a game guy. But for the good of the team, I think guys accept their roles and understand that on any given Saturday, they can have a 100-yard game.
What has that depth done for the competitiveness at practice, knowing that there's only so many spots?
Well, I think, one, guys know if they do something really well, they'll find the field. They don't have to be the very best guy to play in the game because they know we'll find a role for them. So from that standpoint, I think it keeps guys engaged. We don't have 3 guys that are going to play 70 plays. But from a competitive standpoint, they understand that that room is deep, and if you take a day off, you're going to slide down the depth chart. You're going to lose your opportunities that you're getting. And so every day is competitive. Guys want to play, and they compete. They're not combative. They help each other, but they understand it's about competition.